Imagine fly fishing in its quiet stretches, matching wits with some of the finest brown trout in one of Canada's premier fly fishing destinations. The scenery is beyond compare. The eons-old limestone cliffs rising from the riverbed at times takes your breath away.
The brown trout on the Grand, they vary in size. The average size, I'd say, would be between 8 and 12 inches, but they do get up to be very big browns. We have caught them 26, 27 inches. They are a lot of work. They are true trophy fish. Yep, there you go. Oh!
Oh yeah, nice fish, nice fish.
Beautiful fish. Oh, he wants to do one little spin on
The water's clear enough here, we can see it with the camera.
Right into
Good
the
man.
net. We are working hard.
Oh, and that's a good fish.
That's a beautiful fish there.
This week, I'm on my home waters, the Grand River. It's June and it's dry fly time. I'm with ace guide Mikey Metcalf. I'm Bill Spicer. This is the New Fly Fisher.
That is amazing.
There's a take. Oh, nice.
The power. All right.
The New Fly Fisher is supported by Destination Ontario, Orvis Fly Fishing, Trout Unlimited, Rio Products, Oscar Blues Brewery, Global Rescue, Adipose Boatworks.
Today we meet with a person I've known for a number of years and have come to respect him and appreciate his angling and guiding skills. His name is Mikey Metcalf, and he's owner of Metcalf School of Fly Casting. Not only is he highly knowledgeable, but he's also a fun guy to wet a line with. Although you can catch fish most any time of day on the Grand, the most productive time is daybreak and sunset. Most anglers fish at these times and take a break and rest up in the afternoon. It's first thing in the morning. We're up here at 5 a.m. First light on this river really makes a difference. The fish are hungry, they haven't had anything drifted by them, and hopefully it'll produce for us this morning.
Well, it pays off to get up at 4:30 in the morning. First car in the parking lot, first people on the river, first people to meet the mosquitoes. Wow. A little guy.
Way to
But
go,
it's a
Mikey.
start.
Way to go, Mikey. We observed a few rises starting, and so Mikey changed over to a dry fly. I still got a nymph going. He looks like he's got a small stalker there.
It's got a little stocky here, but this is kind of what you expect to come out when you're throwing little dries with a light rod. So these are the flies we're using. It's a little size 20 blue-winged olive, BWO. They're kind of hard to tie because they're so small. It's probably a size 18 or 20. I believe it's a 20. And usually these hatch kind of when we get an over cloudy, kind of bad weather kind of day. We always say it's a blue-winged olive kind of morning. So when it's kind of miserable out and cloudy, watch for the blue-winged olives.
When dry fly fishing, you make your cast out and you make your run. If nothing's happened, there's a certain way you want to pick up your fly
off the water to make it silent. Instead of ripping it off the water and causing a lot of noise, what you want to do is move the line and break the surface tension on the water, then lift it up. It's done like this. Wiggle, then lift, and then you can lift the fly off the water silently. And that's very important.
There you go, Bill.
Change to a usual.
Acting like a rainbow on you.
Yeah, he jumped there. It's a small fish, not very big, but it's on the dry fly. It's early in the morning. We got some blue-winged olives coming off. You'll hear them called BWOs, but blue-winged olives, and they're quite small. And I've tried everything and finally put on a usual, and I'll show it to you in a second here. Little brownie. There we go. They call these stockies. They've been put in recently. You can get them up to 24, 26 inches here. There's some big fish in here at times. Now, I spent some time trying different flies, big, small. What they were taking this morning, we believe, is blue-winged olives. And they were at about size 16 to 18. And I just experimented around. I came across, it's called a usual, and they float like a cork. I actually added some silicone to it, but it's yellow in color and it lays flat in the water, but it's easy to see, and the fish took that.
One of Canada's premier fly fishing destinations is the Grand River near the town of Fergus. Fly fishers from across the globe come to the upper section of the river in Fergus and Elora for the experience. What attracts fly fishers is the river has many faces, from the flat, easy wading limestone section between Bellwood and Fergus to the escarpment between Fergus and Elora, where cliffs tower 60 feet above where you are and barely a sign of civilization, to the downstream section where the river weaves through the meadows and the cedar bushes.
One thing you got to remember when you're on the Grand River, this is regulated waters. You must squeeze your barb down. That's good there. It's single barbless hooks here, which means one fly, and it's got to be barbless. All right. Blue-winged olives this morning. Oh, another nice little jumper. Not a real big fish, but I'm having fun. This is great. All on dry flies.
Yeah, this is kind of what you expect when you come out for the day.
Yeah. And nice little brownie. Not huge by any means, but fun. Lots of fun. They rise on a regular basis, and you got to figure out what they're eating. That's the challenge to all this, figuring out what they're eating. This is great. Over the years, I've had people ask me, what size tippet should I use for any certain fly? And there's a rule that was given to me a number of years back, and it's a rule of 3. For instance, if I had a size 12 hook, I divide 3 into that, that's 4, so that makes it 4x. If I had a size 18 hook, divide 3 into it, that makes 6x. That's a simple rule that you got to determine what size tippet to use.
Usually people would have to call ahead to get booked with me probably a couple months in advance to get into the really busy section, which would be probably mid-June on. Other than that, we could always usually find a way to squeeze some people in. We start getting into the dry fly action in June. Early May, we nymph and streamer. Then the hatches come in mid-May. We get busy through June. In July, we slow down in August and we leave the browns alone due to the temperatures around 68. We stress out the browns, so we slow it down. We'll transition over to bass for the month of August. And when the water starts to cool off again in September, the Grand River usually ends with a good bang. And then we'll strictly focus on steelhead mainly on the Niagara, the Saugeen, and the Georgian Bay tribs. And that goes right to the end of December. Last year we had our best day on the last day of December last year. Ooh,
Well, I saw that.
it's right off that back seam there.
There he is again. Got him. Got him. He's just a little tiny guy. Now, if you hold a trout upside down, they calm down.
When dry fly fishing, one of the key things to setting the hook on a trout is having tension from the fly directly to the fish. I'm gonna show you a couple easy tricks and easy casts that will enable you to control the line. If you had a rising trout upstream, what you wanna do is you wanna put the fly out there, put the fly in between your fingers here, and you wanna control the slack. If a fish does come up and take that dry, you wanna be in position to have tension onto that. So when you cast upstream, put it up, left hand, rod down, and control the slack with your left hand. Fish comes, hook set, it's in the net. There it is. We saw this guy sitting. We came down here, saw him rise one time, sat on him for a second, came up again, looked in the water, and saw some BWOs coming down, so I switched up quickly. Second cast out about 40 feet. Half decent fish. Second year, maybe?
Need a net, boy?
No, I should be good, Billy. That's what I like about these long nets here.
Excellent, Mike, excellent.
That's about a second year. I'll take them on the surface all day long. I'm a sucker for these things. Home to mama.
The equipment recommended for the Grand River is a number 4 or a number 5 weight rod. I'm using a number 5 today. It's 9 feet long and it's medium action. I have a matching reel that does have a drag. Now, for the most part, the drag isn't needed, but there are some big fish. I needed it twice on this trip. And the fly line, just a floating, regular taper trout line will work. But that's generally all you need when coming to the Grand River. Got one. Good
Got
man.
one. The little guys are feisty on these little rods.
Little feisty ones, aren't they? What are you using?
BWO morning, Bill.
Again, BWO.
You know, it's funny using these big nets, but one time you cast out, you hit a huge one. There you go. So that's a little BWO. I find these are probably the hardest to tie.
The dry flies most effective on this adventure were Goddard caddis, size 12, Hendrickson spinner, size 14, crane flies, size 16, parachute blue-winged olives, size 18, caddis emerger, size 14, and the usual, size 12.
When casting dry flies, one of the biggest obstacles people have is trying to eliminate drag off their fly. So I'm going to show you a cast. It's very easy to learn. It's called a reach mend or a reach cast. What we do is we put it up, we stop the rod, and we reach. 45 degrees to the fly, control the slack line, follow it down the river, and you don't have to do anything once it's in the water. It's called a reach mend. Stop the rod and reach out.
I see him there. Man, that's a good fish.
At first, the rises were sporadic, not steady enough yet for us to make a cast.
cast, Bill. There you go. Good work, Bill.
A lot of bad casting. I've been casting 9 weights for the last 3 weeks, and now I'm on a 5 weight, and it's a big difference. I'm throwing lots of tailing loops, but I finally got it out.
You stuck it out, though. That's the important thing.
And this feels like a decent fish. Oh yeah, good fish.
That's a nice fish, Bill.
It's a good fish. Yeah, it's a good fish.
There you go.
Now, Mikey, you gonna
Come
be my
down.
net boy?
Yes, sir. Want me on the other side?
Yeah, on the other side of me, I guess.
Nice fish, Billy.
Yeah, it's a good fish. Not huge, but it's good.
Sure is.
Got him. Woo!
Good job, Billy.
Now, before I fall in, we've run into an old friend. Rob Heel, who I did a show with a couple years back, has gracefully volunteered to help us out tonight, and he helped me a lot. Thanks a lot, Rob. This is a hard-fought brown on a dry fly. He took a caddis emerger. We got mayflies, spinners falling down, and caddis coming off, so awesome, just awesome. And away he goes.
Good job, Billy.
And away he goes. Oh, that was great. Thanks, Mike.
Very welcome.
Oh, man. Thank you, sir.
The setup used on this episode was a number 5 weight forward floating line to a 9-foot tapered leader. This leader was tapered to a 4X tippet. Lighter tippet was added when needed for smaller flies. The rule I generally use is the leader is the same length as the rod. This, however, is not written in stone. When conditions are gin clear and low water, lengthening your leader is necessary.
One of the most overlooked things in dry fly fishing is the amount of recon that a dry fly fisher puts into chasing big trout. It's very, very common that we'll come out and sit on a riverbank, and sometimes we could sit 3 to 4 hours waiting on a hatch and one big fish to rise. It's very common when we hit big fish, it's 3 to 4 hours of sitting, 30 seconds of casting. If you see a bigger fish come up once, it'll get your attention. If it comes up twice, get your ears up and really focused on it. And if that one big fish comes up the 3rd time, we will now get up and we will go in very stealth mode and wait for the perfect shot. Everything is about accuracy. Steady, Bill. Yep, there you go. Oh!
Good old usual. That was a very active fish. And I think it's a good size fish. This is a 5 weight rod. And this is a decent sized fish. Oh yeah, nice fish, nice fish.
Beautiful fish, Bill.
That was worth the wait. We didn't know what they were taking, whether they're taking caddis flies, mayflies, and there's crane flies happening right now. We didn't know. But right now I put a usual on, and it's like a blue-winged olive colored, a little large, but He was eating potatoes, but he wanted a little steak, I think.
We got BWO spinners on the water. We got crane,
Yeah.
caddis, the old usual, eh?
Usual, yeah. Okay,
Pretty fish,
I'm
too,
gonna back
isn't
up a bit.
Yeah. I'll get it to your side. I don't want to get wrapped around. Ready to take her home?
Yep.
Right into
Good
the
man.
net. We are working hard.
Oh, and that's a good fish.
That's a beautiful fish there.
Oh, Mikey, what a way to end the day.
Wow.
Well, that was a great fish. What a way
Sure
to end
was.
the day.
They made us work for them, but we got the job done at the end of the day, and that's all that mattered. We got them in the net.
And we got them on dry flies. We
Yes.
accomplished our goal to do it on dry flies. Lots of observation. If you want a guide that's experienced, I highly recommend you give Mikey a call. For more information on this show and others in our series, visit us on the web at thenewflyfisher.com. From all of us here at The New Fly Fisher, thanks for joining us. Tight lines. We'll see you next week.
Hi, I'm Mark Melnick. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe today. Now we're putting up brand new videos all the time, so if you want to be notified when a new one goes up, click that bell icon and it'll come to you as soon as it's uploaded.
The New Fly Fisher is supported by Destination Ontario, Orvis Fly Fishing, Trout Unlimited, Rio Products, Oscar Blues Brewery, Global Rescue, Adipose Boatworks,